Record. All right, so we're recording. So if you guys missed the company call today, it was pretty informative. It was really good. Basically, July was another record-breaking month. If you have ever been on a company call, you're going to notice that that is the start of every company call, that we had a record-breaking month, because we're just kind of in that phase with Zaya, where every month is record-breaking. So July was a record-breaking month. Tons of inventory in the warehouses. We just switched over warehouses. So there's just a lot of good stuff going on. And they did announce what we're doing for the month of August, both in terms of a promo, which I'm going to open up and walk through with you guys. And then additionally, that we are going to be giving back to 4 charities per week. On Wednesdays, $1 per charity, which is a really cool thing. I saw some of you guys did videos on it today explaining it to your customers. I thought that was really cool. I haven't done that. I saw Sarah go live in her VIP page actually and kind of explain, hey, if you guys are looking to place an order, you can place it whenever, but it might be cool to do it Wednesdays because, and then she kind of got to explain what's going on with Zaya, which was neat. So here's what we're going to cover tonight in the next 27 minutes. I'll just explain the promotion. It's pretty self-explanatory, but just to make sure that everybody understands it, I'll walk through that. I'm going to quickly walk through reading numbers, and just based on what people are commenting, I'm just going to read through junior rep numbers, make sure that you understand it if you are trying to rank advance. If you are trying to help somebody else, that you also understand what that looks like. And then I'm going to go through if you're trying to rank advance, so if you're trying to earn that double bonus, what I think my 3 key things to focus on this month would be. And then if you are trying to help somebody rank advance, what I think the 3 things to focus on this month would be. There's more than that, but I'm going to go through what I think would kind of be the 3 bullet points, the 3 areas to focus on in those 2 different scenarios, whether you're trying to rank advance or help somebody, okay? So first, the promotion. So the promotion, again, is pretty straightforward. So if you are going to look to rank advance in the month of August, junior rep, senior rep, director, or senior director, you are going to earn double your bonus. If you are a rep and somebody in here put junior and senior rep, you will earn the double bonus on junior. You will earn the double bonus on senior rep. If you want to try to triple rank advance, you will earn double on every single rank that you hit, okay? So the other part of the bonus, which is brand new to Zaya, I've never seen this done before, and I absolutely love it. I love how they're incentivizing the month of August. The other part of the promotion is going to be, as a sponsor, if any of your level 1 business partners, so anybody that you've personally sponsored, rank advances to junior rep, senior rep, director, or senior director, you're going to earn that original bonus amount. So if you've got somebody on your first level who's trying to hit director this month, and they do, they will earn $200, double the bonus, and you as a sponsor will earn $100 on your paycheck because you helped them hit the rank of director. I think it's a phenomenal idea. Of course, there's going to be cases where people just rank advance and maybe they don't have a strong upline, but for the most part, what's cool about this is that it's not only encouraging people to rank advance, but as leaders in this type of organization, this type of industry, it's calling to our attention to turn around, reach back down, and pull others up. That's the whole idea here. And you'll notice with Zaya's business model that becomes very critical as you start to hit higher ranks, that you are turning back around and saying, okay, who can I help rank advance? Because you can only do so many, you can only go a certain level in Zaya without having people who are also rank advancing on your level 1. So I love it. Just the idea of like literally turning back around and linking arms with somebody and pulling them up is awesome. It's like what the whole company is about. Okay, so for reading numbers, I'm going to do a really quick screen share, just so everybody understands what what those numbers mean and what it looks like. So I'll do junior rep. So if I go to my join screen, you can find these numbers in a couple different places, but in your back office, right on your home page, you can see them. So these reps or these ranks are going to be from representative. So when you join, you're a representative all the way up to Zaya Presidential. Okay, so we'll look at junior rep. All of these numbers are, they start over as we hit the first of the month, okay? So they're all numbers that you need to hit on a monthly basis. Once you hit a rank in Zaya, your title will always remain at that rank. However, to get paid at that rank, you do need to hit those numbers month over month, which makes sense. So for junior representative, your personal volume needs to be $200 in the month. The only number out of these columns that is cumulative is this lifetime personal volume. So this number is just going to continue to grow, okay? So as a junior rep, you need to have $1,500 in lifetime personal volume. So if you just started with Zaya, you would need to sell $1,500 this month to make sure that that qualification is met. If you started with Zaya last month, or you have a business partner who did, and in the month of July, they sold $1,000, they would have to sell an additional $500 in the month of August to add up to this $1,500 lifetime personal volume so that they meet that requirement to rank advance. First level volume is the combined volume of all of your business partners. So if you are a representative and you want to hit junior representative, that means you're going to need at least one business partner in the month of August who gets up and running in order to rank advance, okay? So you do need at least one business partner to do any sort of rank advancement within Zaya. Your first level volume, so let's say you are new or you have somebody who enrolled last month and so they're kind of new, they would need to bring on one business partner in the month of August to help them get to $600. If they bring on two business partners and they each do $300, this is the cumulative, so the sum of all of your level ones, okay, has to be $600. When somebody enrolls, $145 goes straight to that first level volume. And then they do have a $200 gift card to redeem as well. So this $600 is pretty reasonable to hit if you do end up enrolling a business partner. And then lastly, your total group volume. So your group volume is your volume in addition to everybody else, whether it's your first or your second line, your entire downline, including you, is the total group volume number, and that has to be 600. So if you guys have any questions on that, put it in the comments and I'll make sure to visit them, but it's pretty straightforward. It is a little confusing at first. If you understand it, but you haven't talked out loud about it, and you are trying to coach somebody to rank advance this month, I would recommend just talking out loud about it to yourself and making sure that as you repeat kind of what you just heard, you're able to say it out loud and make sure that it makes sense, okay? So that's rank advancement. That's reading numbers. Again, questions, put it in the comments. And then trying to rank advance. Okay, so there's one second, I am going to stop screen sharing. Okay, people in the meeting. Okay, so you're on this call because you want to learn how to rank advance, or you want to rank advance to senior or director. Here are the things that I would recommend that you guys do. The first is commit to one single thing every single day. I know I've, which is really good. I've gotten some feedback about these calls that they're sometimes overwhelming, or there's people who rank senior director in 3 weeks and it feels not doable, and it's just kind of like these big, huge, wild success stories. So I wanted to make sure that we are speaking to the masses and we can break it down and say, okay, that's great. Like, she sold $15,000 last month. That's awesome, but that's not my zone. That's not my space. How do I make, and that is not my space for anyone who knows me. I did this business literally chip by chip by chip, man, chip off the old block. So the first thing I would do is commit to one single thing every day. I know right now in my business, I know for me, that is reaching out to people to talk about the business opportunity. My goal is 3 a day, okay? Like, no question, I want to reach out to 3 a day, but my non-negotiable is one. Reach out every single day in the month of August. No questions asked. Like,
the first baseman.
a goal. You have to do it. You have to do it. Just try it for 30 days. How many days are in August? 30? Try it in the month of August. Do one single thing every day. So again, my goal, three people per day. But like if I had a crazy day with the kids or I just didn't touch Zaya one day, I know when I crawl in bed, if I did not do that one reach out, you better believe before I fall asleep, I'm reaching out to one person. And it's not going to be a cold message on Instagram. I really want to make sure that these are thought out, solid messages that at the end of the month, I feel good about the work I did. I think sometimes we say, oh, like send a message a day, and we might shoot a cold message out on Instagram. If you're going to commit to doing one thing a day, like make it worth it. Take the extra couple seconds to write out like a well thought message or use a voice message. But that's mine personally. Yours might be something else. Committing every day. Maybe it's reading part of your devotional. I don't know what it is, but for rank advancement, I know for me, it has to be something where I can measure the ROI, the return on my investment. The investment in this case is my time. I know that to rank advance and make money in this business and have success, I know it's about having parties, and I know it's about reaching out to business partners. That's what it comes down to. That's the nuts and the bolts of the business. Of course, there's other things we need to do. Show up for calls, self-development, personal development, a vision board. All of that is critical stuff. But at the end of the day, if we're doing that, but we're not doing the nuts and bolts, and we don't have to be crazy. You don't have to reach out to 30 people a day, like one every single day for the month of August. Again, it doesn't matter what your daily commitment is, but my challenge to you is to look at your business tonight, open up your back, look at maybe the last couple months, and write your goal down, that something you're going to do every single day. Maybe it's related to your PV, maybe it's related to your teammates, and again, maybe it's related to business partners. I know that's where my business is lacking right now, so that's where I'm going to focus. So commit to one thing every single day. The next thing I would encourage you to do before you go to bed tonight and think about this is commit to something every single week. One of the reasons I do that is because I want to know, like at the end of the day, I want to quickly and simply in my head say, oh, did I touch my business? Like, did I quick do that? Did I quick do that thing today that was my daily goal? Yes or no? And then every week I like to check in and say, okay, this week, did I do X? Mine is selling $625 per week because I know that equals $2,500 at the end of the month. If I think all month, okay, I got to sell $2,500, I want to hit $2,500, days go by, a couple weeks go by, and then I'm like, oh, like I've got 1 week to sell $2,200 to meet that goal. Like that's just too much. And that's where people I think tend to fail a little bit in this business, is that it becomes overwhelming if you don't break it down. So in this case, mine is to sell $625 a week. When I see that it's August 7th, every single month I do this. When I see it's August 7th, 14th, 21st, and then towards the end of the month, I'm like, where am I at? Did I sell 625? Because if I'm behind, I got to pick it up a little bit. If I'm ahead, awesome. But I kind of at least then can gauge it. If you aren't taking time to gauge your goals, there's not really a point in having them, right? Like if you're going to set a goal, you need to look back at it and say, okay, like this is my benchmark. Did I fall short or did I blow it out of the water? So then next month, maybe 625 is too much a week. Maybe that's a little too high. So, okay, next month, I know I didn't quite do that last month. Maybe I'm going to bump it down to $500 or $400 a week because I want to sell $1,600 at the end of the month. So if you have, that's why I always encourage people to do a daily goal and a weekly goal, because then you can kind of bounce up and check. It's an easy way to hold yourself accountable. And then lastly is use trackers. Okay, this is going to be like, nah, some people aren't tracker people. I was not. I was like, oh, I can manage it. Like, I know my goals. I check in with myself when I go to bed every night. You guys, it's not just a way to write numbers down and like, it's so much bigger than that. Having a tracker, what it's causing you to do is if you, let's say you fill your tracker out every 2 days or once a week, what it's causing you to do is not only sit down and write down where you're at, it's causing you to think about your business. You're kind of getting into Zaya mode a little bit. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm a little bit behind. I'm going to do 5 reach outs while we drive to my sister's house. When I'm in the passenger seat, I'm going to quick do 5 reach outs because I want to book another party this month. It's so much bigger than just using a tracker. A tracked number grows, and I believe that to my core. If you guys saw the spreadsheets, the trackers, the things that I keep about my business now, like game changer. I'll show you guys where you can find that. And I know some of you are going to be like, oh yeah, I might do that. And you're not going to end up doing it until you actually do it for a month. You just don't know how great it is. Okay. So junior rep tracker. This is going to tell you, okay, personal volume. Did I hit that $200 this month? Lifetime personal volume. Am I at 1,500 or am I at 800? Am I past it? And then when you're past it, you could put like a pretty little check there and it feels so good. Is my first level at 600? Is my total group at $600? How many qualified parties have I closed? How many parties do I have scheduled? I will tell you guys what, it really sucks when I go to fill this out and I see nothing checked off in this box, like in the party scheduled box, and then new rep signed. And then this is just like an additional place for a business or a personal goal, something like that. But these trackers are incredible. If you have a printer, you can print off a full sheet. I actually started doing 9, I think, per page. So that way, every couple days when I would do this, I could fill it out and I could keep looking. And at the 15th of the month, I'm like, okay, I can see how far I am. And then when I fill this out next month and it's September 15th, I get to say, okay, where was I on August 15th? And kind of do a little bit of checks and balance. You know, am I ahead? Am I behind? But these trackers are incredible. Like if you are serious about rank advancement, highly, highly recommend that you fill these out. And there's one for every single rank, I think all the way up to the top. So you can find this under the Grow and Celebrate page. If you just type in trackers, it's going to be like the second thing that pops up here. And they're phenomenal. So those would be my 3 things. If you are looking to rank advance, commit to one thing every single day, commit to one thing every single week, and then use the trackers. Nothing crazy, no magic. I promise if you guys could go see all my numbers from the first day I started until today, you're not going to see anything outrageous. You're going to see a hell of a lot of consistency, little consistency, because that was manageable for me. I did little things every single day. And you know what? Earlier in 2020, I had a baby. Everything was kind of a shit show. I didn't do it. And I feel it now in my business. Like I can feel it now in August that I didn't do that 4 months ago. So now I'm back at it. But that would be my recommendation. If you are looking to help somebody rank advance, here are the 3 things I would recommend you do. First, reach out and ask them. This could get a little weird, right? Like if you're somebody who hasn't really been tracking or helping your first level or kind of being involved in those conversations, if you haven't really been doing that and now all of a sudden this promo comes out and you're like, hey, like, what are you trying to hit this month? Let's get you to director. You're a junior rep. Let's get you. My very honest, truthful, raw opinion to you would be, okay, just step back. And is my communication this month consistent with where I've kind of been? And if it hasn't, maybe the conversation looks a little bit different. Maybe it's a little different. Maybe it's, hey, listen, if you hit junior rep, I'll give you the bonus I get. I'll Venmo you the $50 that I earn because I'm really committed to wanting to help you do this. And I'm not recommending that you give your bonuses away, but I think you just have to be a little bit, maybe like dainty with your conversation and, or at least aware, be aware of kind of where you've been and the language you're using and make sure that they want to rank advance. So I would ask questions. Like I'm going to reach out to all my level 1s and I know some of their goals already because we just talk on a regular basis, but I'll reach out and say, hey, like August, you know, what are you looking to do? What are you hoping to do in the month of August? And then let them talk, like let them answer, let them talk and ask a lot of questions around it. So some of the questions that I ask are like, hey, what is your goal? Especially if somebody's new and they're just kind of unsure and they don't really know what everything means. Like, what is your goal this month? Junior up? Awesome. where do you feel really confident in your business? And they might say, well, I feel confident booking parties, but like this whole recruiting somebody, like, I don't know if I can do that. How do I recruit someone? Then you can kind of start to have that conversation and coach them into recruiting, but you have to ask questions. Because just to say, what's your goal? And they answer junior rep, and you say, okay, awesome. Like, keep me posted. Wrong, zero. Not the point of the promotion. The point of the promotion is that you say, okay, like, well, what do you feel good about in achieving that goal? Or like, where, like, what do you feel kind of sucky about? Like, what do you think is going to hold you back? What do you think is going to be the easy part? How can I help you? Like, how can I help keep you accountable? And an easy way to do that is, so you don't feel like a boss, is to say, well, let me do it with you. Like, how can we hold each other accountable? Is it reaching out to 2 people a day? Let's do it together. And at the end of every day, let's just shoot each other a text and say done, or, hey, I totally biffed today. I'm going to catch up tomorrow. But that's a really good way to talk to your team about their goals, right? Like, hold each other accountable, make it a partnership, make it about teamwork, not, hey, I'm here to kind of babysit you and push you towards this goal. The second thing that I would do is send them a weekly tracker. They may be filling out, they may not be filling it out. I haven't done this for my level ones in a while. And so much of like in prepping for this call, I was like, gosh, I have to like really get back to that stuff. For a while, when I had people pushing for some really exciting goals, every couple days, every once a week, I would send my level ones a tracker that I just created on Canva, because for me that was easier. But you can print a tracker and put their name at the top and be like, oh, like Sarah, August 6th, like, hey, I pulled your numbers, here's where you're at. Like, you are crushing. Obviously the lifetime volume for you is already done. Your level 1 volume looks really good. So it's just the group volume. How's your team feeling? How can I help? Should we jump on a call together? Would it help if you raffled off a call with myself or Leah or whoever? But that's a really good way to show them, A, that you care, and that you're also taking the time to look at their numbers. I think it's really unfair just to say to somebody, hey, how's it going? Or like, hey, I know you're like, Dana, I know you're shooting for executive. Like, tell me your numbers. I mean, like, yeah, if it's a quick, like, hey, what's your GV today? But like, if you're not kind of already having a little bit of a pulse of where they're at and what they're doing, I would recommend that you take the time to fill the tracker out and be like, hey, I was doing some work this afternoon, filled out the tracker, take a picture of it, send it to them. Because that feels good. Like, I remember when Ellie did that for me, and I was like, okay, like, she really cares. Like, let's do this. So I would recommend sending them a tracker that you've taken the time to fill out. It's also going to help you understand where they're at. And it gets tough sometimes. Like, you're going to have reps eventually shooting for things that are like executive, where they need to have 2 directors, and it's going to kind of force you to dig into their team a little bit and kind of see where their team's at and get to know their team and get to know their leaders. So that would be the second thing. So the first is just reach out and ask questions. What is their goal? Second is send them a weekly tracker. And then the third is help them feel ownership about it, right? So like, usually when someone's shooting for director on my level 1, if I know they're close, I'm like, okay, sometimes I create a graphic and I can show you guys it. But in my Canva, I have a graphic that says like team active road to director, or whatever the team name is if they have one. And I'll have $10,000. And then I'll kind of, as it moves closer to that $0 mark, like if their group volume is 6,000, then there's only 4,000 left. And I'll update that graphic and I'll give it to my level 1 shooting for director. And I'll say, hey, if you want this, if you're comfortable sharing it with your team, here's a really fun graphic. Or if you want to start like a little level 1 chat and you want me to share this in there, like, I would love to pop in and say, hey, you guys, like, Dana and like this team, you guys are so close to executive or whatever the goal is, and share that graphic. So coming from you as their mentor, they might feel more comfortable. But I always ask that question, like, all right, I know you're shooting for director. I know that can be a weird conversation to have with your downline. Like, hey, let's go get $10,000 in group volume. I know that's a weird conversation. So I would love to help you out. Is there anything I can do? Do we want to do like a fun incentive for like a $25 gift card? I'm happy to front it. Like, I can Venmo somebody $25 or give them a $25 gift card to their back office and create a fun graphic about a giveaway and how do you get entries, but really help them like get creative, not just, oh, you guys are $4,000 away, like, good luck, you have a week left. Like, really get into it with them. Have them lead a call. have them go live on a team page. Like, give them ownership so that their team can see them being uplifted. If you have someone shooting for junior rep and you know that they just recruited 2 business partners, have them share something in your team chat, or, hey, I had a party last week and this went really well. I think because a lot of the faces I see right now are people who have been in the business and are somewhat comfortable talking. I think sometimes we forget how powerful that is. And when you highlight somebody else, again, even if it's for like a quick, hey, you just had a $1,200 party, or you just had an $800 party. Like, could you think of the 1 or 2 things that worked really well for you and share it in our team chat? Because that's, I think, would be really helpful for people. So now other people are seeing them be uplifted, and their team is seeing them kind of be lifted up as a leader. So those are the things that I at least had written down and helping somebody else rank advance. And I'm going to show you guys really quickly. Let me do a screen share on my Canva, which is a little bit of a hot mess, but it might just give you guys some ideas of easy ways to approach those conversations. They're not always easy. Sometimes they can get awkward. I find the more transparent and real you are with people, the easier the conversation usually tends to be. Okay, so let me screen share one more time. Okay, so hey, Dana, $260,000 a month. I was going to show you, the director tracker. Oh, here's one. This would be an example. So I would go ahead and screenshot this, which I did this on a call last week and people like had their minds blown. So I don't know if anyone else thinks this is cool, but you can just screenshot it. It goes right to your desktop. And then I'll like take it into like a Facebook if there's a chat of like the level 1s, or I'll share it with people, or I'll post it on a page. And then every couple days, or when it gets close to the end of the month, I'll keep doing the countdown, explain why it's really cool for the team to hit it. So that's a really fun way to do additional tracking. And then there was one other thing I was going to show you guys. Sorry guys, just give me a second. Oh, Sarah, fun. Okay. This is something that I did for my team. It does not need to be intense. Literally, you guys can use the trackers that are provided, but these are things that I really liked to do and share because it held me accountable as a sponsor to know where my team was at, because I was the one filling these out. It was also cool for people to kind of see where they were at. So that's pretty much it. Do you guys have any questions, or did I miss any? Does anybody want to unmute and add something? It's 8:30. We got a couple minutes left. That was fun. I'm going to start that again because that was a blast.
Can I pipe in, Leah? It's Amy.
Hi, Amy, please.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? Wait.
I would just say for those that are looking for like that, signing that first rep, which is always the hardest one. The first one is the hardest one, right? Is really like looking at your rockstar party host, and make sure that you never ever forget to, whether you think your hostess is interested in the opportunity or not, never ever forget to present them the opportunity, especially if they have hostess rewards to use, because you just never know. And I think for me, the biggest downfall in my business was not doing that. I mean, everyone knows I'm like a PV junkie, but I'm not good at recruiting. And if I was, I would be ranked much higher if I was good at recruiting, but I'm not. And part of it was when I first started is I was like, I didn't want to ask. And I also like was so like set on having high PV that I didn't want to lose. I wanted those customers to be my customers, you know? And you have to look past that, because you can't do this alone and you have to have a team behind you. So those rockstar party hosts, you got to get them as reps, because if they're a great hostess, they're going to be a great rep and they are going to help you so much. So for sure, go after those rockstar party hosts and don't be selfish.
So my question to you, Amy, would be, because that's such good advice, but I think I found this interesting when you said I'm not good at recruiting. Is it that are you not good at it, or were you just not maybe doing those types of activities?
Yeah, I just wasn't doing it. I was just like, instead of asking, I was just like, well, unless someone comes to me about the opportunity, like I'm not going to even present it. So I wasn't good about like sharing it or, you know, asking people if they were interested.
But so you are, in fact, a good recruiter when you are implementing the little tips and tricks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I think sometimes, and I'm so glad you said that, because I think sometimes the mentality is like, I'm just not good at recruiting. And like, if I could take those words out of every single person's vocabulary, like that would be my dream, because
right.
I think that gives a vibe of like, I can't do it, when in reality, it's just, are you having the parties? Like, are you booking the parties to have the conversations? And like you said, Amy, like who would have thought like that you weren't doing that? Like, because to somebody who asks those questions to the hostess a lot, like, gosh darn, like think if you would have done that from the beginning.
Yeah. I mean, one of the best reps on my team, she hosted a party in November. She had over $1,000 party. I think she had a $1,200 party, and I never even asked her. And then like in February, I finally was like, maybe I should, once I like really realized I should have these people on my team, I was like, maybe I should ask her. And she was like, yeah, I want to do it. And I was like, oh my God, why didn't I ask her months ago? So yeah, I mean, like, I think if you just do those little things, like you don't have to be good at, like, you're just telling them, you're giving them the information. You're not talking them into it. You're just saying like, hey, just so you know, like you could get the starter kit for only $145 right now. Like, and if you don't share that, you're really selling yourself short, or you're selling your business short, I guess.
100%.
And I think even too now that a lot of us have been starting to do like our quote unquote VIP links for our really good customers. It's made that easy circle back conversation to be like, in 2 months, you just qualified to party for yourself. Like, you obviously love this. I find that has been a lot easier for me to be able to circle back in those customer conversations, because you can pull up all their orders very easily now because you just yourself qualified your own party. So I have found that. And I'm horrible about offering, hey, you want to use those credits? And I'm getting much better. And why? Like, it's just another question. Like, you want to use it for this versus that. You get all of that and all of that. So yeah, it's a mind switch.
Mm-hmm.
So
I agree.
Really, another really, really good point. You guys are you're bringing up such good points. When I say like, reach out to a person a day, like my goal is to reach out to a person a day, I should clarify and be honest with other people. That's not just me saying like, hey, have you ever heard of Zaya? And like waiting for somebody to reply. When I say reach out to one person a day, I'm like talking about like almost a closed question. Like whether it's from ongoing conversations, usually if it's like a new conversation or like planting the seed about Zaya, I'm not closing it at that point. But I do think with anything else, like at some point you have to close the conversation and ask for the sale. And I hate that because it makes it sound like you have to be good at sales to do it, and you don't. But like when I say reach out to one person a day, I'm following up with, hey, like, where's your head at? Like, there's this awesome promo that just came out, like, and we've got 4 really good training calls coming up this month. We're doing an awesome ton of fun, like, donations. Do you think you're ready to pull the trigger? Like, are we ready to do this? Those are the kind of conversations. So they're not just like, oh, I reached out to 30 people, but like, was it well worth your time? Like, was it a good, solid message? And I think to Sarah's point, like, I think we do get nervous to ask those questions. Like Amy said, she just never thought of it. Sarah was just like, well, I just never asked the question. Why didn't I? So asking a little bit maybe of those harder questions, I think and then it becomes like second nature. So Good points, you guys.
Because Leah, you didn't even ask me. I think I told you.
Totally. But I was like scared because I already creeped you on the highway, but
But I'm pretty sure I said to you, hey, I want to join. And you're like, oh, shit. Yeah, probably.
sometimes you get lucky. Oh my gosh. If I went through all the parties I had, you guys, if I went through tonight, this is a great challenge. I already gave you 2. Write down your daily goal and your weekly goal. Please write those down. But if I pulled my entire customer list right now and took 20 minutes and went through it, guarantee you, I could circle at least 10 people and be like, oh shit, like I should reach out. Yeah. Lauren, is Lauren on the call? Congratulations. She just signed her first rep, Jess said. That's awesome and it's super exciting. That's what I have for you guys. If there's anybody else who wants to chime in, please do. Going forward, the calls are going to be a tiny bit different. What I would love to do is feature more people. I've gotten some really good feedback from my level ones about these calls. And it sounds like maybe we just need to do more like tangible stuff sometimes and not quite so like huge, massive, this person did this and they're going to talk, because I think it's good, but I think we need to have it a little bit more balanced where sometimes we have like, how do you sell $625 in a week and break that down rather than like these really huge, crazy things. So I'm not going to say challenge again, but regardless of if you just started or if you've been doing this for a while, I would love for you to speak on a team call. I would love for you to be like, hey, this topic is important to me, or I'm really nervous to talk on a team call because I'm not good at public speaking, but I found that like doing this really helped my business. I'm telling you guys, there's more people on this team that can relate to you probably than me, and people have already heard me talk a lot. So if you feel a pull at any point during the next 5, however many months are left this year, please send me a message or send your sponsor a message and be like, hey, I think I want to do this. Whether it's a 10-minute part of the call or if you want to do a whole half hour. But I think more variety is just going to be really fun. So please reach out if you guys have anything that you would like to talk about. I'm going to post it on the team page at some point this week. But go ahead and shoot me a message or again, like your upline, if you feel compelled, because I think that would be awesome. Even coming up with topics, I tend to come up with the same topics, like a recruiting, a PV, a this, a that. And I just think there's a lot more out there that you guys probably have that would be more beneficial. So 10 minutes over, it's 8:40. Dana, are you wearing the boyfriend sweater? And Amy.
Me too.
What's happening? Oh, and Jesse. You guys, it's like we all get like a taste of like a little bit cooler weather. And we're like, where's my boyfriend?
I don't know. Where's my sweatshirt?
We took a screenshot of our page and all 4 of us are wearing.
You guys, that's so funny. Hold on. I'm going to take a quick picture. And that's another thing. If you ever like, listen, everybody, stop and smile because I need something to put on my Instagram or my social media. Do it. It's for real. Okay, you guys. Let's see if I can get all the hoodie strings. Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. It's in the dark.
Oh, yeah. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you guys. Okay. Fun, you guys. Keep in touch if you have any questions about anything tonight. I'm going to stop recording.